You know what I think? I think they're all young and dumb. Like kind of,
Yeah, I guess
like
so.
lack of wisdom, lack of experiences, knowing that people are going to screw you,
Yeah.
believing, trusting in anybody. That comes from years and growth, right? I that's just I what I believe is they were so desperate to form and trust other people. I'm like, no, trust yourself.
Kim, are you in Hawaii? Are you on the island, back on island, or where?
I, I'm in Hawaii. I'm home.
It must be really early right now, is right?
It is. It's just a little past 6.
Wow, and you are ready to go. You look refreshed. You got the hair colored and everything. You're glowing. Looks like life's good for you.
It is. Thank you. Yes, it is. We're lucky to live in Hawaii.
You sure are, for sure. How, I mean, looking back at it, it's been some time. I'm sure you come to terms with it all. Would you do it again the same way you did it?
As yes,
As far as like being the lone wolf too and
abs-
everything, just sort of being yourself. You stuck to your guns from the beginning. That's a lot of props there.
yes, I would do it exactly the same.
Why do you think, I think I would have been a lone wolf too, because in this game, I think you can have alliances, but most of the time, these alliances let you down no matter what, or point you in the wrong direction. Why do you feel like everyone is so like quick to want to form an alliance and not sort of trust their own gut like you did? And like, I'll take a chance with myself because no one's going to screw me over in that way.
You know what I think? I think they're all young and dumb. Like kind of,
Yeah, I guess
like
so.
lack of wisdom, lack of experiences, knowing that people are going to screw you,
Yeah.
believing, trusting in anybody. That comes from years and growth, right? I that's just I what I believe is they were so desperate to form and trust other people. I'm like, no, trust yourself.
Yeah. Tell me about Peter. He came in here. Was he disliked, or I thought Peter was going to be this nice guy, but that sweetheart everyone's going to love and want to, be friends with. But here we're seeing people are steering away from Peter. What were your thoughts on him?
Um, Peter, actually, I thought Peter was a nice guy. He's
Yeah.
deep. You could tell he came from a great family, had a great upbringing, well mannered. I don't know. I liked him. I actually liked him. I didn't like how he wanted to throw the game on the train. I
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't agree with that. But as far as him, and he was nice. I mean, he was a decent dude. Hot too, right?
Well, you made note of that, right? I mean, he was the bachelor after all, right? So he had like 25 women vying for him and all that. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yes. And he made it known. I mean, walking around in his towel,
Oh,
opening the shower door with just a towel, yeah, it was like,
yeah, just teasing, right? I mean, plus he was really well dressed. I see you guys like here in the forest, everyone just kind of like in their sweatpants and all. And Peter's dressed like he's going to a gala, too.
every time he was a sharp dresser for sure. He's a sharp.
Kim, did it surprise you sort of when you got eliminated? Everyone was sort of really like down about it and depressed and crying about it. I'm like, where was the support throughout the game for you? You see all this love come through as soon as you were sort of eliminated. In that, do you feel it was genuine or whatnot? Because it kind of caught me by surprise. Unless we didn't see a lot of stuff on camera where you guys really bonded.
You didn't. You didn't see a lot of good stuff, and um, we were pals. Actually, we had so many laughs, and the off-screen stuff was really a bonding time for all of us. There's like four of us that were really pretty tight, and um, oh yeah, I know they all said as soon as I left, the bus was like completely different. It was so quiet.
Yeah.
I mean, we spent a lot of time together. So we talked some shit. That is right. And we laughed. And I tried to make them laugh as much as possible. And yeah, it was fun. It was great. I
Who
mean,
was your crew? Who were the few that really you bonded with?
okay, it was Shane, Mac,
Uh-huh.
Biggie, and myself. And then
Okay.
later Allie came in once they started hooking up. So she came in by association.
Yeah,
kind
you're right.
of. It was us.
Tag along.
Yeah, it was us mostly, just like talking story in the back of the bus.
Do you feel like, you being sort of the wiser one, experience with life and all that, they were coming to you, and a lot of them being younger, coming to you for advice and sort of that sort of, in a sense, of mentorship in a way? Did you feel that too throughout the show? Because if I was them, I would totally utilize your knowledge and life experience and all that you've done professionally and personally.
They did. Yes. I
Okay.
was like the bus therapist in a
I'm
way.
guessing if you were close to Shane, I mean, the love advice too, right? In that case.
Yes. Shane and I were pretty close. And I wish they would have showed more of Shane, to be honest, because I hope
Mhm.
they do coming up, because he's got, everyone talks about my one liners. Shane is like the one liner king.
Really?
I called him Slim Shady. That was my name. I'd always say, Shady, what's up, Shady? Like he was the king of one liners and jokes. So I hope
Interesting.
to portray that a little bit more.
Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah, he's sort of on the. I felt like you and Shane, I think in particular, are always kind of on a down low. Like last week when I was talking to Ty, I'm like, Kim is like literally like the most dangerous person in this game because we don't see much of her, we don't hear too much of her, but there's stuff going on there, in the background. I'm like, you were my sleeper throughout, so I was kind of surprised that this was the week for you.
Yeah, I was exhausted though, for sure. You know,
I'll tell you. Kim, one thing about you, like I've been keeping tallies every week when someone gets eliminated. Jeffrey always offers something. Like with Josh was like, "Oh yeah, let's get a beer." With Ty it was like, "Let's get coffee." Rachel says that he owes her a husband, but he came through with you. He took you to the beer gardens, and you had the best exit of anyone on the show. You had a blast on the way out. So Jeffrey finally came through. It seems like with you.
that was great. Yes, it was awesome. I didn't know who Jeffrey was the whole time. I didn't know who any of his.
Really?
No, I had no knowledge until that meeting, and we had a good conversation. And I told him that. I said, I'm really sorry, but I don't know where you came from. I don't know what shows you've been on. I don't know who you are. And then because all of the kids on the bus knew, but every time
Yeah.
they dead whatever, what I'm like, I've never seen that. I don't know that. So
Yeah.
he brought up to me Grey's Anatomy, and I was like, oh. And he said I was Izzy's boyfriend that passed away, and I'm like, oh, I know now. I know now. I get it. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, he was cool. Jeffrey was a good guy too. He's great.
Yeah. It seems like he had a blast too, doing the show in so many ways.
Yeah, he did. He had a lot of fun with us.
Did you know when he was going to pop up randomly ever? It's like when we see it, with the show ad, it's like he just pops up out of nowhere, on the screen or on the bus and stuff. It was just always like he could come out of anywhere at any time.
Always unannounced. Oh, yeah. We looked forward to him though, because that meant something good was coming,
Yeah.
or challenge was coming, or so it was good. Whenever we saw Jeffrey, we knew we were either going to get a clue, or
Uh-huh.
get to do something, get off the bus, you know. So it was
That
to see him. Yeah.
What was your favorite sort of destination that you were at? Now you've been through half of this adventure, so you've experienced some places and some different challenges. Do you have like a particular one that you really enjoyed?
Amsterdam. That
Amsterdam.
that was the best.
You liked being suspended above tasting those wild foods?
I couldn't stand the food, but
Yeah.
being suspended up in the air, it was like the best carnival ride ever, right? I was just like screaming the whole time because it was so fun. Like it was, couldn't ask for anything better. Well, hang gliding or sky jumping might have been, the next best thing, but
Pretty
yeah,
much at that point. How long do you have any idea how long you guys were up on that thing?
hours.
Really?
Yes. 3 hours, at about three, maybe a little more.
No one got, not only from the food, just from like being suspended up there, got nauseous, or like I would probably been puking or something being up there and swinging on that thing.
everyone made it through, believe it or not. It's so
Wow.
crazy. Yeah, no, we all were laughing and gagging, of course, right?
Yeah,
Um,
right, from the food.
from the food, but no, yeah, it was so fun. That was my favorite part of all of it, was that.
Yeah. That's amazing. I would have never guessed that that was your thing. Of all the things, I'd be like, probably that was the least likely because it looks uncomfortable. But it is a cool thing. I mean, to get to see the entire city from that sort of view, that is a pretty iconic thing.
Well, I didn't get to see it from there.
Right. Well, yeah, we got
I,
to watch it. I mean, like, if you had a chance to, that's
yeah,
another thing. you're suspended in this like fantastic view, but you don't get to see it. That's another thing too.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, goggles or the blindfolds and the goggles and the earplugs. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Kim, did you ever get like claustrophobia? Because I kept on thinking like having those goes on for extended time, or if you have to walk or do things, and the earplugs, like it's disorienting. It's not something you're used to doing in regular life. Sort of take your vision away, and how long did it take to get adjusted to it, or did you even ever got adjusted to it in any way?
No, I mean it was a drag, don't get me wrong, but my biggest was that I had bruises and dents for months.
Mm.
Like any filler that I ever had was gone within a week. It was like mashed in, and that was my concern, was the marks and the dents that it was leaving. But as
Yeah,
far as, yeah, I mean, I would just sleep. I would sleep if we're in
I
a park.
guess so. That's
Right?
the only way to counter that. Because, like, if you're trying to be awake or trying to keep your eyes open, like, there's just nothing there. It's pitch black, probably.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, just go with it.
there you go. Have you kept in touch now since you've been off the show? After it all wrapped with other castmates and stuff. You guys develop like it seems like a lot of them developed really close bonds. And there's like the Austin crew who moved in together. Do you check in on each other? I'm curious what the relationships are now.
All the time. All the
That's
time.
great.
We're messaging and texting and calling all the time. We have some plans coming up soon.
That's cool to sort of get together and these group chats, right? I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah, even Pete. Even Peter. I messaged with Peter a little bit too. I'm always giving him a hard time about the Seahawks. The Seahawks is his team, so I'm
Oh yeah.
always razzing him about the Seahawks and stuff. And he calls it throwing shade. So I'm like, yeah, you can. I'll Peter.
Do you have a team yourself that is
Yeah, I'm a Broncos fan for
a
sure.
Broncos fan? Interesting. I was thinking maybe like 49ers since you're in Hawaii and that's the closest thing. How'd you become a Broncos fan?
My kids all went to school in Colorado,
Okay.
so we inherited it from education, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, heck, they're on the upswing now, so they're probably going to have a better season than the Seahawks. So there's that. There's a bragging rights.
Yeah.
I love that. What you've been doing since you've been back, back home, sort of, show wrapped a while ago. Obviously, you guys filmed it in the fall. How's life been for you, since? Are you kind of back to what you were doing before, or what have you sort of taken up since?
Yeah, we had a lull, right? So from the time we stopped filming till it aired, right? There was a
Yeah.
gap, was like we didn't hear anything, we didn't get bothered, we didn't get calls, we didn't have to do anything. And
Yeah.
then so yeah, it was just normal life, back to the same routine of life, work, grandkids,
Uh-huh.
inter island travels and stuff. And then as soon as, oh, we got the date now, we're back on doing a lot of stuff for the show, which is great because we're all reconnecting again. And it's really so great to see it on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
We did not know what to expect, right? So
Yeah.
we didn't see anything. So it's great to go through and see where we really did go.
That's
Uh,
right. Because you didn't get to really experience that, but now you get to see it. That's so interesting. I didn't think about that.
actual road trip, all of that. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, life is the same. I went to go to the beach when I can, just hang out with my family and work.
There you go. Back. I mean, you're in a great place. Many people just go to Hawaii for vacations. To live there, that's a whole other thing. So,
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. It's
You got to, but Kim, that was a long flight back, I'm guessing, from Munich to Hawaii, right? I mean, I was just thinking that too. I'm like, you probably have the longest flight of anyone that will ever have on the show backwards, going back home.
well, I stuck around for a little while,
Okay.
and I didn't fly home from Munich. I'll tell you that. I can't.
Okay.
Where I flew home from, but it wasn't Munich. But still, it was a long flight for
Yeah.
sure. No, Hawaii to anywhere is a long flight, basically.
Yeah. For sure. Well, hey, you had a great run. You should be totally proud of. I mean, to be a lone wolf getting through half this show, you did really well. So, I mean, this game is going to get everyone in. There's going to be only one that's going to get out of this somehow at the end. So, everyone's going to have this exit interview at some point, pretty much.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, great run. Thank you so
hey,
much.
this was so much fun. Good to see that you're doing well. You're looking great. You seem happy. So, all the best to you and hope to talk to you and see you again
I,
somehow.
all right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.